Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Божечки мои, где я вообще?
Another night of the glorious battalion of
You
Pembroke.
look exhausted. You're pushing yourself too hard. Don't have to bear.
Too much. Все в повязочках, хорошо. Так, а где сестра? Как ее там? Где я вообще? Господи. Так, ну я сходила с той стороны. Давайте глянем, что здесь есть. А, как много всего. Господи. Ага, понятно, надо с ними еще будет побазарить. О, да, эта игра прям создана реально для меня.
We are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Horrifying epidemic.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Ну, кстати, если то, о чем я думаю, то да. Так, необходимы подсказки, которых у нас нету.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
А, что за проблема? Типа эпидемия вот эта новая или что?
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Какая хорошая медсестра. Так.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Ладно. А, ну, все, в принципе.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Хорошо. Так. Я видела тут еще доктора какого-то. Который испарился уже. Черт. Ну, врач. Господин врач. Блин. Вот это, мне кажется, начнет меня раздражать в итоге. Здравствуйте.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Чувак, мы с тобой еще закрешимся, погоди. Опять подсказок нету, как скучно. Так, ух ты, господи. Хорошо, давайте.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Кажется, я понимаю о чем-то.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Хорошо.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Да ты реально рубишь правду матку, чувак.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know, and by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Ладно, давай.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Так, я просто гляну, потому что сомневаюсь, что у меня вообще есть деньги. О, 100 монет вообще. Дробовик Милтона. Часть рукояти, спусковой механизм. Рукоять, алюминиевый порошок, осколок. Ну, ладно. Купить, а можно что-то продать. О, хорошо. Так, там не появился доктор? О, доктор, стой.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
А типа женщинам нельзя быть врачами? Это что, все еще то время странное, да, когда... Понятно.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Ого! Это ж так. Ладно, ничего не открылось. Хорошо.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Так. О, господи, сумасшедший это. Вампир.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Ладно.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activity.
Кровь ей нужна. Мне тоже нужна. Я не треплюсь об этом всем подряд. Жизнь зависит от тебя. Требуются медсестры. Нажать именно так. Чего? Откуда звук? Отсюда? А где я? Ладно, неважно пока что. Запомним, что здесь есть некий выход. А кто где разговаривал? Можно я узнаю, пожалуйста? Дерьмо. А ну, все. Это понятно. Так, а ты кто? Пипа.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Опять все закрыто, ладно.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Ну, такое.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Ну ладно. Зато он пушки продает. Вот это, конечно,
Goodbye,
да.
Miss Hawkins.
Так. О,
Time
господи.
has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Ладно.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Ну, хорошо.
The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Простите.
Goodbye,
И мы
Nurse.
уже разговаривали. Так. Опа. Здравствуй.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Окей. Так.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Ну да. Она немножко куку.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Dooth Digby.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Так.
Daily routine.
Второй этаж, так понимаю. О май гуднес. О, господи, что так много-то. Надеюсь, нас никуда не пустят сейчас, и я пойду дальше просто. О боже. Not now. А, как много коридоров. Так. Давайте сходим сюда. Операционная. Непонятно что. О, доктор Рид. Это я.
It's locked, all right.
No, right. О. От пациента Элвуда. Сейчас почитаем. Так, давайте еще поднимемся выше. Что там, глянем просто. Осмотримся. А фигушки. Что там написано? Хорошо. Так. Тут то же самое будет. Да. Отлично. Теперь у нас единственный вариант, куда идти, это в свою комнату. Прекрасно. Он не специально рядом с операционной поставил комнату или что?
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes.
Да, можешь...
Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Да. Хорошая шутка. Статья об иконах. Это редкая возможность, даже привилегия сблизиться с вампирами, наблюдать их физиологические и психологические особенности с научно-рациональной точки зрения. А вот некоторые из удивительных способностей, которые я наблюдал в последние 10 лет в ходе общения с вампирами или иконами, как они себя называют. Сверхъестественная скорость. Вампир может действовать и двигаться так же, как и смертный, но опытный глаз подметит, что все чувства у них обострены, а реакция гораздо быстрее, чем у любого смертного. В некоторых случаях тревога, удивление и необходимость бежать. Я видел, как вампир двигался так быстро, словно исчезал, внезапно появлялся где-то еще. Когда вампиры действуют так быстро, человеческий глаз не может за этим уследить. Но это не телепортация и дематериализация, это всего лишь сверхъестественная скорость. Эта способность позволяет вампирам, словно кошкам, бегать, уклоняясь и прыгать дальше и быстрее, чем это делаем мы. Кроме того, я заметила, что такая скорость их утомляет. Физические ограничения действуют и на них. Гипноз. Одна из самых мощных способностей вампира – это возможность подчинять себе смертного. Я называю это свойство гипноз, но оно не имеет ничего общего с способностью смертных изменять психическое состояние подопытного. Вампир может подчинить смертного своей воле и даже сломать его психику. Один вампир, с которым я беседовал, даже сказал, что чем сильнее сопротивление жертвы, тем более долговременным является урон, словно вампир в буквальном смысле слова раскалывает разум цели. Тот же вампир объяснил мне, что на овладение данной способностью требуется время, и что результаты воздействия на овладение данной способностью бывают самыми разными. Вампир может внушить ложное воспоминание, стереть болезненное, возможности истинно безграничные, что и пугает. Чутье на кровь. Это, возможно, самая жуткая способность вампиров, поскольку именно она является причиной множества трагедий как для них, так и для нас. Вампиры жаждут крови. Они должны проявлять неимоверную силу воли, чтобы сдерживаться и не выпить всю кровь, которая находится в поле их зрения. Кровь нужна им для того, чтобы существовать и пользоваться своими сверхъестественными способностями. Голодный вампир может быть очень слабым, хотя ему и не грозит смерть от голода или жажды. Эта жажда – вот причина того, что кровь так возбуждает вампиров. Один вампир признался, что запах крови так силен, а ее привлекательность так велика, что иногда ослепляет его. Если вампир сосредоточился, то он почти может увидеть кровь в живых телах, на стенах, за стенами, на якобы чистом оружии и т.д. Тот же вампир говорил, что видит, чистая ли кровь у смертного или он болен. В некоторых случаях даже может обнаружить наличие в комнате зараженных предметов. Если это правда, то данная способность обладает просто невероятной ценностью для врачей. Очень хорошо. Карта пациента Элвуда. Пациент Томас Элвуд, мужчина, 28 лет, лечащий врач, доктор Питец. Состояние выздоравливает. Дата поступления 16 сентября, дата выписки не определена. Примечание. Во время войны лицо пациента было серьезно обожжено, деформировано при взрыве бомбы. Даже получая самые сильные успокаивающие средства, он регулярно испытывает сильнейшую боль, словно, по его словам, огонь все еще горит под кожей. Осмотр рубцующихся тканей показал следов воспаления, инфекции или отеков. Шрамы чистые. Может, это случай неизлечимого повреждения нервов, пациент постоянно винит себя в своих физических уродствах. Может, это случай чувства вины выжившего, фантомная боль как наказание за то, что он не умер вместе со своими товарищами. Ну, похоже на то. Такс.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Где же мне water взять? Угу. Я хочу полить цветочек. Дайте водичку.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
А могу я скрафтить воду, реально? Так, сыворотки, сейчас попробуем. Так. Его можно исследовать. Слабая сыворотка регенерации. О, very good.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Ладно. Так. 1500, хорошо. Угу. Ну вот, я, в общем, прокачала. По одному уровню взяла на здоровье и стамину. Увеличил, короче, кровь, когда он кусает жертву в бою. И взяла оборонительный барьер. Кровавый барьер. Типа защищает, поглощает урон оружия ближнего боя. Вот. Нет. Хорошо.